Now, if you have cancer and you're not fasting, you're making a very big mistake.
And they make the body fight aging and diseases.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saudaraku muslimin dan muslimah, kita diwajibkan oleh Allah untuk berpuasa 1 bulan lamanya dalam setiap tahunnya. Berlimpah pahala juga dijanjikan Allah untuk kita yang melaksanakannya dengan sungguh-sungguh dan penuh keikhlasan. Apakah berpuasa itu benar-benar bermanfaat bagi kita? Ya, tentu saja. Tapi itu adalah jawaban kita sebagai seorang muslim. Bagaimana dengan mereka yang non-muslim? Apa pendapat ilmiah mereka tentang puasa? Mari tonton video ini sampai selesai supaya kita tidak salah dalam memahami. Berikut adalah berbagai pendapat tentang puasa dari para pakar non-muslim.
But fasting is something that we can all do, and it can change our lives. You know, every year I fast for 7 days. It's incredibly hard, but I reach a heightened state of physical, mental, and spiritual awareness. And fasting is a regular part of my diet of personal growth, and it can be for yours as well. Thank you.
Ketone bodies are very good for your brain and all. The main part of my talk, I just want to point out that there's evidence, not just from animals, but from humans, that fasting is good for the body. It will reduce inflammation. It will reduce oxidative stress in organ systems throughout the body. And one thing that happens when you fast that does not happen when you eat 3 meals a day is that your energy metabolism shifts so that you start burning fats. Every time you eat a meal, the energy goes into your liver and it's stored in the form of glycogen. It's stored in the form of glycogen, and that's always tapped into first. And it takes about 10 to 12 hours before you deplete the glycogen stores in your liver. Okay? So if you eat 3 meals a day, you never deplete the glycogen stores in your liver, although if you exercise, you can. But once you deplete the glycogen stores in your liver, then you start burning fats, and you produce what are called ketone bodies. Now, it turns out ketone bodies are very good for your brain, and I'll talk about that in a minute.
Now, if you have cancer and you're not fasting, you're making a very big mistake, because the power of fasting can create some serious damage to a cancer cell. Now, there's a very interesting study that I just read. I'll put a link down below. By doing a 30-day fasting program. And what this group of people did is they fasted only between dawn and sunset, roughly about 15 hours for only 30 days. Fasting has the ability to turn on cancer suppressor genes. It can also turn off, that means downregulate, genes that express cancer. Fasting also enhances something called the natural killer cells and the T killer cells. Both of these cells work in different parts of the immune system, and their job is to kill viruses and kill cancer cells. Fasting will increase both of them. Fasting also causes autophagy. Autophagy is a condition where your body is recycling old damaged proteins, like in the DNA or the mitochondria, and recycling them into new tissue. Well, it just so happens that cancer originates with damage to the DNA and damage to the mitochondria. So if you can clean that out, you can decrease the risk of cancer. The more autophagy you have, the less cancer you're going to have. And autophagy is stimulated by fasting.
So what I'm saying is that period of hunger, and it's not even hunger these days, I don't even feel it. I feel great if I don't eat. And it takes a few weeks. So anyone wants to start, give it some time, give it a couple of weeks. But what's happening in the body is you're turning on these adversity hormesis response genes. We call them longevity genes. And they make the body fight aging and diseases. And so by eating through the day, the traditional, you got to have breakfast, best meal of the day, blah, blah, blah. First of all, it's not true that you need to be full or fed to think clearly. It's very clear that people who are fasting have as good, if not better, mental acuity.
Kalau seandainya kita melakukan aktivitas puasa, salah satu kelebihannya adalah akan terjadinya weight loss, atau lebih fokus lagi ke fat loss, atau belly fatnya tentu akan turun ya, perutnya jadi nggak gemuk lagi, ketika lemak yang ada di badan kita secara tidak langsung gitu, maupun langsung gitu ya, akhirnya terpaksa harus dipakai atau dirilis sebagai sumber tenaga ketika kita tidak makan. Makanya terjadi ketika gula darahnya nurun. Tapi dengan kita berpuasa, kita bisa mengatasi berbagai situasi ini. Dan akhirnya nanti akan berkontribusi kepada kita menjadi tuan rumah yang buruk bagi sebuah kesakitan. Imunitas kita tentunya meningkat. Jadi teman-teman. Maka pada saat itulah makanya kenapa ketika kita berpuasa, otomatis yang terjadi adalah apa? Karena inflamasinya berkurang, karena makannya sedikit, dan pada saat itu otomatis kolesterolnya juga pasti akan berkurang juga, ya. Otomatis trigliseridnya juga berkurang, tekanan darahnya menjadi normal, bisa mengurangi potensi stroke. Kalau seandainya misalnya kita menjadikan puasa sebagai lifestyle kita.
Demikian pendapat ilmiah dari para pakar non-muslim tentang manfaat berpuasa. Apakah kita yang muslim masih saja tidak bersemangat untuk berpuasa? Ayo, mulai sekarang kita biasakan berpuasa tidak hanya pada bulan Ramadan saja. Semoga kita bisa meraih ridho Allah sekaligus meraih kesehatan dan juga kebahagiaan. Terima kasih sudah menonton video ini. Semoga bermanfaat bagi kita semua. Sampai jumpa di video-video berikutnya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.